We're gonna have some Q&A tonight, so please ask me anything. Ooh. We're trying features. This is my first YouTube live stream. Do, 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 do. Lighting on, lighting off. I like lighting on. Hello. Hello, two of you that are in here. Hi, how's it going? This is my first Yudi here. Hi, Kennedy. Hi, Sasha. So, yeah, it's my first time here. I'm so glad that some people have popped by. Oh, Aiden, I'm sorry to hear that. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, there's 25 people here. That's amazing. So I used to live stream all the time on Likey, if anyone's used that app. I've never live streamed on YouTube before, so this is the first time. And I figured I'd drop by and do a little Q&A in case anyone testing out it's new. It got sent to me, and yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe it's distracting. I don't know, but it's very blue. Is he lagging or is it just me? I don't know. Other people that are here, tell me, am I lagging? Hi, Philip. Yeah, let me know. Kennedy Hartgang, so I'm curious what other people think. Am I lagging? What's up? I'm just relaxing, doing my first YouTube live stream. I used to live stream a lot on an app called Likey, and my partnership with them has ended. So I figured, let's see about live streaming on YouTube. No worries, Kennedy. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Tweelasu 5 Studios. How you doing? Thanks for being here, folks. I am doing a little Q&A here, so if you have any questions, this is an LGBTQ safe space, so if that's you, feel free to ask anything you like. If it's not you, feel free to hang around and participate anyway. What's everyone been up to today? What's up? Is anyone up to anything interesting right now? If anyone has questions about anything about LGBTQ, I'm happy to answer them as well. We love allies up in here. So if that's you, let me know. We had 25 people in here. Now we have 2 people. It seems like the YouTube algorithm doesn't know who to show my live stream to. Perhaps. Glad you're here. The film industry, which I'm part of. We can discuss event planning, which I do as well. I'm happy to discuss any of those topics or other topics. What are you guys up to today? Let's get the conversation started. Does anyone have any? You don't know? That's okay. It's all right not to know. Thanks for hanging out with me anyway. How many of you in here are if anyone wants to put a question in the comments that you want to have a discussion about, we can do that. Or just a topic, if there's something you want to discuss, we can go there. Absolutely. Like I said, I make movies and shows, as well, I am an event planner, so I create events all the way from 10 people all the way to 500 people. I am in Toronto, Canada. So, anyone else here from Canada? Looks like a whale, or maybe it's a fish, or maybe it's none of the above. Maybe it's a teacup. Hi from Brazil. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Glad you're here, Brazil. Tuila Sue, what country are you from? I don't know who else is in here at the moment, actually. Are you Iranian? I am not Iranian. No, I am Canadian. I am Canadian. Asking the same question 3 times in a row. Okay. Maybe it's a glitch. But no, I'm Canadian. Tuila Sue says hi. Hi right back. I hope you succeed. I subscribe. Thank you so much, Taha. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So, add a Q&A sticker. It wants me to add a Q&A sticker. A movie or show you're anticipating. Try it. All right. So, a movie or show you're eagerly anticipating. What are you guys looking at watching in the near future? And also, have you guys seen my series, It's Complicated? You can watch that now on my channel if you haven't seen it already. There's 10 episodes. I almost said 8, but I'm pretty sure there's 10. I made it quite a while back, but still true today as it was then, which is great. I'd do it all with animation bubbles, and I'm so glad we did that, because this way it doesn't appear outdated. I think if we had done it showing the actual phone, it would have looked old real quick. Because as we know, the phones, they change so quick. The software changes so quick. And so this way it kind of made it a little bit more everlasting, which is, you know, important as well. So, and it's really cool because I've had multiple schools and stuff reach out and say that they want to showcase the series in their school assemblies or in their SE programs at their schools. So that's awesome. I don't know if I can say the word SE on here or not, so I'll try to just say SE. I don't know exactly what the guidelines are for YouTube Live. I still have to dive into that a little bit further, but so far so good. Discuss that. We could also discuss, well, we can discuss the events that I run, etc. So, God of War, cool. Is that a movie? I assume it's a movie. I haven't heard of that one too much. I don't really know what it's about. I imagine it's about war. I don't know, maybe someone who is really good at war. I'm not a big fan of war movies myself. Perhaps that's not even what it's about at all. I don't know. Maybe it's just a how do you say that word? Maybe it's a saying meaning something else. Feel free to tell me what it is that that God of War is, if you'd like. Friendship. I actually would love to learn how to sing one day. I'm a terrible singer. Breaking Bad season 7. Are they making a new season of Breaking Bad? Or are you saying that is the one that exists? I'd love to see more Breaking Bad. I thought it was a great show. It's a great show. It's wonderful. It's beautiful, wonderfully shot. The writing, everything's great about it. There's a couple of the actors that I don't think are that strong, but what can you do? I think my least favorite in that series was the mom, Skylar. I think a lot of it was the writing. I think a lot of it was sort of single-dimensional writing, where she's just kind of mad all the time, and when there's no variety, you know, in a character note. So, you know, I don't think it was completely her fault. But having said that, that character and the performance by the actor that played that character was not as strong as I would have liked. Are you gay? Yes, identify as gay and bi. Thanks for asking. Dude, now that Jenny, my friend song is stuck in my head. Anyone else like that song? It's a fun song. I wanna ruin my friendship. Our friendship, right? So, new season of, or a reincarnation of the show. I doubt they're gonna make any more of those. Kind of final. The show kind of ended, and very well ended. Why did you become a gay? Born this way. Yeah, so it's a good question. Interesting, because by the time that I came out as bi, I already had a long-term boyfriend, so I had to come out as bi to my boyfriend, which, you know, a lot of people, they come out as bi and then they later say, you know what, I think I'm gay, and I sort of did the opposite. I came out as gay and then said, you know what, I think I might be bi. So, you know, it's all a journey. And I still identify as gay, but I also identify as bi. I know a lot of people, they just identify as one, yeah, thanks for asking. If anyone else has any other questions about LGBTQ, which is lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, two-spirit, any of those things, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. This is things, so of course I don't tolerate hate in my live streams, so if that's you, then this is not the place for you. So I wonder if I can, I'm gonna change this Q&A question. I don't know how to change it. I'm Do 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 do. There we go. Start Q&A. Here we go. You're my best friend. So. I love your questions. Keep them coming. Let's obviously keep the questions respectful, but keep them coming. I'd love to know. Is it pink? Is what pink? Is what pink? Try guy, I'd love to know what you mean by your question if you want to. Hello, hi Damo. We're talking about anything LGBTQ, so any questions you have, any conversations you want to have about LGBTQ topics, this is the place for it. So, Zubidans, but welcome. Perhaps a different language. I only speak English and French. I might know a few words in Spanish. I might know a few words in German. I might know a few words in, but a few words, you know, not a, if you said a sentence, I probably wouldn't know. Because really I only speak English and French. So I apologize for not knowing the feature on here. Do not know. My apologies. Regardless, try guy 1. I would love to know what you mean by your question. Is it pink? I'm speak French. Okay. So Domo, you speak French? Bon, je parle français aussi. Si tu veux, tu peux ajouter des commentaires en français et je vais répondre en français ou en anglais. So, I was just speaking to Domo for a second because that individual says that they speak French. So perhaps they are not fully understanding the English, no problem. Tu es au USA? Non, je suis au Canada. So I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto specifically. It's the biggest city in Canada. How long you been a gay? That's a good question. My whole life. But I actually came out as gay first, and then I came out as bi many years later. So I still identify as gay in addition to bi. But yeah, I identify as both. That's a good question though. I think most people probably, in my opinion, probably discover their sexuality around the time of puberty. You know, it's debated whether or not you're born a certain sexuality, but I think you are. I think when you're going through puberty, that's when you kind of notice, you know, the signs or the signals of it. But I think it's kind of written since birth, at least in your kind of heart and feelings. I don't know where feelings, I guess maybe they're in your brain. We say they're in your heart, but are they? I think they're in your brain. I think your heart just pumps the blood, right? Yeah, so thanks for that question, Deborah Clark. I appreciate it. If anyone else has any other questions about LGBTQ topics, I am here to answer them. I'm here to have discussions. I'm here for an honest and transparent. I'd love to hear it. You're gonna ruin your friendship. I do feel like I need to change this blue light though. Something a little bit different. It's kind of in my eyes in a way that I'm not necessarily loving. But I think if I didn't have it, I would be really dark, right? I don't know if you'd be able to see me then. I mean, it's kind of cinematic having it like over me, you know? I think like this would make a really cool picture if this was like a rainbow line. I had a picture actually that maybe was similar to that one time. There was like some light shining through my friend's window and it kind of went to rainbow colors, which was pretty awesome. So yeah. Boom, boom. And in my experience, you know, I go to a gay bar, I go to a straight bar. Gay bars are way more fun. I go on a straight vacation. I go on a gay vacation. Gay vacation's way more fun. I think that, you know, there's positives and negatives in, shall we say, both communities, but I think overwhelmingly LGBTQ spaces are and a little bit more free and definitely more fun. Definitely better music for sure. LGBTQ people definitely play better music overall, in my opinion. This is all in my opinion, of course. So thanks for the question, Zay. I really appreciate that. Keep on coming. I'd love to know what else you think. I did a photo shoot today that was super fun. So I was posing with another model and I really enjoyed that. I'm really excited to see how the photos turn out. It'll probably be about a week before I'll see the photos, but honestly, you never know. This photographer is really fast. It could just be a couple days. So you never know. It all depends what other things they have going on. He did say he doesn't have any photo shoots ahead of mine, which is great because that means the turnaround time will be much quicker. It doesn't really matter when they're ready. It's not like I have a deadline or anything. It's more just, so there's that. If anyone else has any questions, please jot them down. I'd love to answer and discuss with you. This is awesome. Don't forget to like the live stream if you're loving this, and give it a subscribe too if you want to see more LGBTQ content. I also post inspirational content, but largely it's a lot of LGBTQ content. So glad you're here. Ask me anything. I'm open-minded. Ask me anything. Keep it respectful, please, but there's really no question that I will not answer or that I'm not open to answering in some way, shape, or form. All right, so happy to hear what you guys think. We're talking about LGBTQ topic, questioning two-spirit, any of those things I'm happy to discuss. Cisgender versus transgender, if you guys have questions of what those things mean. If anyone's LGBTQ yourself, please, yay, love to have you in the community. Are you gay? Yes, I identify as gay and bi. Thanks for asking. Like I said, to some folk do the opposite. But everyone has their own journey, and that's the journey I was on. So I still identify as gay in addition, but I also identify as bi. I used to identify as queer, but largely I've stopped using that label. I just think it doesn't fit me as well as it used to. I think that's one of the beautiful things about this stuff is that your identity can change over time. You're not stuck to one thing. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. I'm single. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm separated. I had a husband, and I'm separated. So, yeah, thanks for asking. Really nice to have you here, folks. I can't read that username, but I appreciate you. Perhaps it's Russian? It's just a guess. Could be wrong. So, if anyone has questions about anything LGBTQ related, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, two-spirit, ally, cis, if any of these words, if you want to know what they mean, or if you just want to discuss anything about my personal life. Sorry, it's Russian, my mom's account. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, don't be sorry, that's cool. I love to have people in here from different countries around the world. It's amazing. I'm in Canada here. I do love it in Canada, but it is cold right now. We had a little bit of a snow. Me too. Okay, cool, cool, cool. People that are watching YouTube live, actually, because I used to live stream on Likey a lot, and a lot of the people on Likey are very young. I'm curious how old people are here. Are you students? Are you adults? Do you have jobs? I'd love to know a little bit more about you. Feel free to share. I don't know what that means. I don't know what a is. Perhaps you meant bagel. I don't know. I like my bagels with cream cheese. Do. Hi, Josh Efford. Thanks for being here. Replace the B with an F. Don't worry, Poopy Cheeks. I know exactly what you said. You also chose a username that's Poopy Cheeks 1. Okay. Choices. I know exactly what you said, and your comment was very disrespectful, actually, so. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning. We've got a hater in here. Poopy Cheeks 1 is a hater. We love that. Stick around. Keep on hating. We love that. Jordy, and that's it, says hi. Thanks for being here, Jordy. Glad to have you here. Is anyone in here LGBTQ? If you are, raise your hand, put the LGBT emoji, whatever. I'd love to know. If any of you have questions about LGBTQ topics, let's go, ask them. And of course, if you, I'm pretty sure Poopy Cheese 1 is very much a hater, but that's okay. I'm not an LGBT. You know what? I have to tell you something. I love having the haters in the conversation. It's great. It's great. And I'm not being sarcastic. I like having you guys around. Most of the time, especially when I used to live stream on Likey all the time, the haters would end up just sticking around so much that they ended up getting to know my life so much. And it was, I don't know, it was really cool. Like, it was just like, you know, exposing yourself to new points of view. So I think it's great. Yeah, the haters, well, first of all, they're increasing my watch time so I can get monetized on YouTube. So, you know, that's helpful. But also, I honestly think that anyone who is a hater, including you, Poopy Cheeks, you're here for a reason. Or human to you, you know, rather than just the butt of a joke. I am a human, and you're seeing me. And so it's hard for you, I think, for most people to continue, you know. I think for a lot of people that spread hate online on the internet, it's about, oh, how do I get some hate strewn back at me, right? Well, if you like tacos and pizza, then I guess you're all right. I do like tacos and pizza. I'm eating, of course, you know, tacos change drastically. I mean, if you're talking Taco Bell, it's all right. But if you're talking like authentic tacos from Mexico, amazing, right? So obviously that changes things. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have. Please ask me anything at all. If you guys want to know about terminology, or you want to know about how life is like for LGBTQ in Canada, then please ask me anything. Like I said, it's cold here in Canada right now, unfortunately. And Kyle Parody says, are you a LGBTQ? Yes, I am. By the way, guys, you don't have to add a. It's, are you LGBTQ? It's like saying, are you left-handed, right? It's kind of the same thing. You don't have to put, are you a left-handed? That doesn't make sense grammatically, right? It's just, are you LGBTQ? The answer obviously is yes. So yeah, so that's great. Jaya says, hi, welcome, great live, happy Pride to you. I am a 2S plus LGBTQ person. So 2S means two-spirited. I assume that's what Jaya is referring to. How to deal with if you're queer in public and have feelings for someone you meet. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard because sometimes you have feelings for someone and you don't know if they're queer or not. And, you know, if a straight person hits on a gay person, they go, I'm gay. And then the straight person goes, ah, okay. No big deal. But it's not quite as easy. When a queer person hits on a straight person, it can be challenging. It could be potentially dangerous, in certain areas or certain scenarios. So, or it could just be, a little harder to deal with, the rejection. So, yeah. I know Canada's freezing. Yeah, it's a wuss. What can I do? But yeah, I just suck it up, right? Because this is where I've chosen to live and where I'm building my life and such. So I've got to deal with that. But I need you to know the number of times I've thought of just picking up and moving to a hot country. Yeah, that would be great. That would be really great. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah. It's funny because YouTube like says there's a certain amount of people in the live stream, but then based on the comments, I can tell there's way more people in here than what YouTube is telling me. So like some weird gaslighting going on or something. I don't know. Because y'all are like, I say y'all, even though I'm Canadian, like Canadians don't say y'all, but for whatever reason, I just say y'all. I just like the word. So I just say y'all, like as if I'm from like the south of the United States or something. But I just say it. I just like it. Y'all. I love that show. It's so good. Anyone else seen Lost? If you have seen Lost, who's your favorite character? I think my favorite character had to have been Charlie. His accent, his look, I don't know, everything about him I just loved. And ba-doom. So, if you've just dropped in, we're talking about LGBTQ topics, and sometimes we're veering off into other directions as well. But LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, two-spirit, cis, any of those. Please be respectful. But even if you're not respectful, I'm not going to kick you out because I like having the haters around, like I mentioned earlier. Because the haters, increase my watch time, helps me get closer to YouTube monetization, which obviously is my goal. So yeah. If you're LGBTQ and you want to check out some LGBTQ videos, of course I have lots on my page, so subscribe, check it out. Yeah. Ruin my friendship. Here, we're talking about LGBTQ topics. If you have any questions about me or about anything LGBTQ in general, I've noticed that there's a lot of non-LGBTQ people here in perhaps to educate you, so that's great. So yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Simon Bellamondo. Simon Bellamondo. You can say it different based on what language you speak. Are you a member of the LGBT community? Yes, I am. Thanks for asking. Simon Bellamondo is also now the #2 top fan. Ooh la la. I don't know if the top fan thing, because I'm curious. Like I said earlier, many of you were not here at that time. This is my first live stream on YouTube. I used to live stream all the time on a platform called Likey. They ended the partnership with me. I was I don't know what you call me, a verified creator, I think they were calling them. But they've ended the partnership with me, so thanks for having me. And thanks for chatting with me. So, yes. I am definitely a member of the LGBT community. I identify as bi and gay. Yes, I identify as both. I know it's uncommon, but I identify as both, and that's how I feel about myself. So I think it's important that you identify as however you feel. So thanks for asking. All right, what else do you guys want to know? What else do you want to discuss? Things about Canada? If you guys are curious about Canada, I should have put that in my Q&A thing as well, but that's okay. I can also answer questions about the film industry. I've worked in the film industry quite a bit. Thank you, Simon Bellamundo, for the congratulations on your first YouTube stream. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's 40 minutes in now almost, so yeah. But I used to do hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on Likey, so it's not like, I'm used to it. It's not as if it's my first one. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here. We can also talk about the film industry, as I was saying. I've done some acting. I've done some filmmaking, you could say. Technically, I've done screenwriting and that sort of thing, but it's not really my forte. But I did it because if you want to make your own work, that's sometimes part of it, unless you have collaborators to work with. So, yeah, I'm happy to talk about those. I'm happy to talk about anything else too. If you have random things you want to ask, boom, ask them. I'm here. I'm here. I'm queer, baby. So, we love that. We love that. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Strong ally. I have attended many rallies and parades in Portland, Maine. Love that. I didn't know that there was more than one Portland. There's more than one Portland. Okay, now I know. I thought Portland was in Oregon. So clearly I don't know what I don't know. Now, when they say the saying, keep Portland weird, does that only apply to the Oregon one, or does that apply to your Portland as well? It makes sense. You know, there's even cities near me that exist in other countries as well. So that makes sense, yeah. So, like, for example, there's a London in Ontario and London, England, right? So Portland, Oregon is the big one. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why the only one I've heard of. So the show Portlandia, I love that show. It's hilarious. Also about Oregon, I couldn't tell you one more thing. Honest, that's the only thing I know. Portland, Oregon. There's nothing else I know. Keep Portland weird, you know? I don't know what else there is, you know? But then again, I know very little about many of the U.S. states, actually. I'm pretty sure I've heard the phrase referring to Portland, Maine as well. I think we borrowed it. Yeah, there you go. Good. Why be so boring? You know, why just do the same thing all the time and just no originality? No, just be you, be interesting, be different, be weird, be whatever you want. I'm very much for that, so. How do you guys feel about this light that I got going on? You like it or you hate it? It's like this sunset light, but I have it on blue mode. Maybe I'll change the color here in a second. But yeah, is it cool or is it like totally distracting? I mean, I kind of like the look of it. I think if I turned it off completely, you wouldn't see me. So, the light is cool, I like it. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. So I'm gonna, while trying to stay on screen here, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of fandangling to the light. So it's just like this thing here. Now I look like an alien or someone from the Blue Man Group. About this light, but it doesn't look bad. I could just shine it behind me and just make the room look cool. Do you have any pets? So I have a cat. And my ex-husband has a dog that is currently with me as well. Name is Lady Mischief. She's cute. No, I don't think I should have done that. I'm talking to myself now with this light. Oh, see, now I shine at the lens and it kind of does a cool thing. Right? But then here, it's not interesting. But the second I go out of the frame, kind of interesting. I don't know, it's got a mood to it. Right? It's got a something. It's like a filter. It's kind of cool. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Simon Bellamondo. I'm curious. Your name feels very male, female, and non-binary. I'm curious how you identify. Let me know if you're willing to share. You like the name Lady Mischief, or you love the name Lady Mischief. Amazing, thanks. I'm so glad you feel that way. So, you identify as a man. Awesome. Cool. Thanks for being here. Yawning a little bit. Well, I'm at 45 minutes now. on this live stream. But I know from my experience with Likey that in order to succeed at live stream, you have to live stream a long time, because it takes a long time for people to you, and then figure out who sticks around, who leaves, etc. And so that's a big part of it. So yeah. So yeah, so I would have actually continued doing the partnership with Likey. Why would I if you're not gonna pay me? You know, their platform works a little different. Instead of ad revenue like how YouTube works, they just pay people. You know, and they just sort of go, you're gonna draw an audience, okay, we'll pay you. And then you have to live stream a certain amount, and you have to, you know, be on the platform a certain amount. The name was inspired by my favorite video game character, Simon Belmont, from the Castlevania series. That's awesome. Cool. Good to know. It's always good to have a little story of how you come up with things. In my circumstance, my name is just my name. I didn't get very creative with it. It literally is just my name. So. At the end of the original Castlevania, he's listed in the credits as Simon Belmondo for some reason. Cool. Cool. Maybe they made a mistake. Or maybe a translation. Maybe like in a different language, that's what it is or something. I don't know. Ooh, that was too strong. I drink Mio, if you know what that is. Ooh, it's like those little things you squirt in water, but I put way too much in that one. Oh, that was concentrated. I think it was that most of the concentrate was at the bottom of the glass. Anyway. What is that? Mio? Yeah, it's like this little flavor enhancer. A little thing you squirt in water, and it kind of turns it into juice. Sort of. It's like sugar-free and stuff. It's, I don't know, it's okay. Mio, M-I-O. You know, wherever you live, that they don't have that brand. That is called something different. Or maybe in your area, they don't even, it's a brand name, right? So, obviously, if you buy other brands, it's not going to be called that. But everyone calls it that, sort of how, like, everyone calls it Kleenex, even though they're actual facial tissues. And in Canada, actually, Kleenex, the brand, doesn't exist. But we still call it Kleenex. It's just like, I don't know, it's just what we're used to calling it, even though it's actually just the brand name. But interestingly, Neo, that you wrote there, is a company, and there, which quite frankly, to me is like, that's what every, you know, bank's going to be in the future. You know, I think bank branches are not going to last very long, especially as the older generation departs us. Oh, I had something like that. It added caffeine and cherry flavor to my Pepsi, and it tastes like wild cherry Pepsi with extra boost. Yeah, I don't think that's the same thing. I know what you mean. The same idea, perhaps, but this is... Yeah, this is not adding caffeine or sugar or anything like that. And you certainly... These things are not meant to put inside pop or soda or whatever you call it in your area. But yeah, it's meant to put in sparkling water, like if you have a soda stream machine. But yeah, that's the idea anyway. So, anyone else have any other questions about LGBTQ topics or movies and shows? Because I work in that industry. Event planning, I work in that industry. I also love to do web design, graphic design, that sort of thing. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments. And I will and say no thank you. But realistically, almost nothing is off limits with me. I'm such an open book. So I'm now at 52 minutes. We'll see how much longer I go. Maybe I'll end at an hour. Maybe I'll keep going. We'll see. We'll definitely see if more people show up and enjoy the live stream with us. Is it difficult to be a queer person in Canada? What challenges do you face? Well, I'm in Toronto, so I'm, it's basically like the New York City of Canada. So it's a huge city. It's an urban place. So, typically in those urban centers, there's far less hate. And of course, yeah, I don't face a lot of challenges, truthfully. Now, if you're in other areas of Canada, probably hate on queer people, or if you were to actually beat them up or whatever, I mean, you'd go to jail, because it's not legal here. You have to treat people with respect, and you can't beat people up or stuff like that. So, yeah, the police would take action if someone were to do that. So it's pretty safe overall, I'd say. I think trans people definitely are not as safe, for sure. But I think people who are gay, lesbian, bi are in a pretty good space, I think. Yeah. But definitely people who are trans have more things. I'm cisgender. And for those of you who don't know, cisgender means that you're not trans, effectively. Descriptions that it's, the same, that it's the same gender as what you were assigned at birth. But I think the most simple answer, although it's not quite 1000% accurate, but it's the most simple answer is you're cis if you're not trans or non-binary, right? If you're just, you were born a man, you're a man, trans has never entered your mind, you're cis. Cis just means cisgender. So, and most people are cis. Most people are cis. So even people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, etc. are still cis. Because cis means that you're not trans. Of course, a trans person can also be straight, gay, bi. Alberta, yep, probably would be a different experience in Alberta, I would think. Here in Maine, from what I've heard, it's a mixed bag. We're a blue state with a lot of hick red state qualities. Fair enough. Fair enough. Interestingly, in Canada, our colors are flopped. So when you say blue, that means red for us. When you say red, that means blue for us. Our colors are just backwards, which is interesting. But also in Canada, it's a little bit different because we have more parties here. So there you pretty much have red or blue. Here we have red and blue and orange and green. Those are the four main ones. But there's other ones as well. Unions heavily, but now they've diversified quite strongly. And the green is in the environment, but obviously they've also expanded priorities into other things as well. Bloc Québécois is the party that is a party of Quebec, one of the provinces, and they're a fairly broad party. They have a broad set of opinions and policies, but in general they are trying to preserve Quebec's culture and language, and there's also others, but there's lots of them. There's Rhinoceros Party. I forget what they do, but I think that one's a joke, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we have lots here, whereas in the United States there's pretty much two, right? Obviously you can have someone who's independent or something, but there's pretty much two. Ever present, I feel terrible for what they go through in the US. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's not great. But there are other countries where being trans is almost more acceptable than being gay. So, it depends where you are. But yeah, I would say in Canada and the US, both, being trans is more challenging or faces more challenges than being lesbian, gay, bisexual, etc. I'm so glad you guys are here and having this conversation. I mean, Simon's doing most of the talking, but there's other people here, I can see it. So maybe you're not talking because you're just enjoying the conversation. Boom, boom, boom. We're now at almost 58 minutes into the live stream, which is great. I will stick around for a bit longer and we will continue chatting about these topics if you like. LGBTQ, film, we can talk about Canadian stuff. We can talk about as well, if you like, we can talk about event planning, if that's interesting to you. And what else can we talk about? We can talk about sad things, if you guys aren't feeling great, or if you guys need a little pick-me-up, or, you know, emotions are heavy right now, or whatever, then we can, you know, we can dive into a mental health conversation. I'm very open about my mental health. Even finding the right partner is a very difficult, and trusting the person. Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I've been on the lookout for somebody as well myself. And it's challenging. It's hard to find the person that you trust, that you vibe with. A lot of it's vibe. A lot of it's, you have to vibe with them. And sometimes it's not something describable. Sometimes it's not, well, you know, they're not funny enough, or they're not this enough, or they're not that enough. Sometimes it's just, we don't really vibe. It doesn't really work. We're not really compatible. There's not really like that chemistry, you know? So yeah, sometimes it comes down to that. But yeah, it's challenging. I think that also, you know, if you're LGB, if you're lesbian, gay, or bisexual, there's less options for you. And if you're trans, I think there's even less options for you, sadly. But it's also just because, you know, the vast majority of the population are straight and cis. Cis meaning that you're not trans or not non-binary. Excuse me. That's just a sneeze, by the way. Some people say I sneeze funny. I don't know what you think, but so. Ruin my friendship. Oh, that's interesting. I got to an hour, and instead of saying an hour, it says 60 minutes. It's kind of surprising to me. How common is online dating in the gay community in Canada? From what I hear, it's extremely popular with gays here in the US. Yeah, absolutely. There's, I mean, yeah, there, you know, there's Tinder, there's Grindr, there's a thing called Sniffies. Yeah, absolutely. It's. I would argue that most people use it in one form or another. Some people use it more for hookups. Some people use it more for dating, etc. Thank you so much for answering the question. Bless you. Yeah, no problem. P5D3F. I never know what your usernames mean. That must mean something. Must mean something. And it could be Jaya. The J could be a Y. It could be Yaya. I don't know. Doom boom. You tell me if I pronounced it right. You know what I mean? Like, give me the feedback. So, yawning a little bit. Yeah, yawning a little bit. I did a photo shoot today. It was so fun. I can't wait to see the photos. Probably a while till I get the photos, but you know, I'm looking forward to it. Yes. Jaya. Cool. It's so cool that you guys are here. I'm glad you are. Have you guys seen my videos at all? If not, maybe you check them out after the live stream. Check out my shorts. Give me some likes and comments. I'd really appreciate that. Don't worry, I'll remember your username and I'll appreciate you. Yeah, I'd love it if you check those out after. There's also a series called It's Complicated, There's 10 episodes. You could binge the whole thing back to back. And I'd love it if you check that out. Of course, watch it all the way through. Give me comments, give me likes, and let me know what you think, because I'd love to see it. What is your favorite part of filmmaking? Oh, telling a story. You know, I love the idea of telling a story. And actually, I think that's not what I love the most. I think what I love the most is stylizing it. You know, saying this one uses these fonts, these colors, these styles. You know, creating a world. And, you know, when you watch something like Wicked, it's like, you know, Wicked creates a world. You know, you watch Greatest Showman, they've created a world. There's a, you know, they only use certain fonts. They only use certain styles. There's a certain coloring to it, right? Everything matches in a certain kind of way, or it makes you feel a certain kind of way. I think that's what I love the most. But it's all rooted in story, because if you don't have a good story, it's, who cares? So you have to have good story. So I think those elements are what I like the most. Do you write your own screenplays? Yeah. I co-wrote It's Complicated, and I either wrote or co-wrote the other ones as well. Having said that, I don't really want to be a writer, but it's one of those things where if I don't write it, who's going to? And because I've been, you know, producing my own content, it's sort of like, well, I kind of have to write it, because if I don't, I have nothing to make. You have to check that out. Yes, please do. It's Complicated, 10 episode series is on my YouTube channel, so check that out after the live stream ends. Yeah, watch it all the way through if you can. It's really helpful to me. I'm also trying to get monetized, as I mentioned earlier, and to do that I need 4,000 watch hours, which is an astronomical amount. I don't know how I'll get there, but I'm tenacious, so you never know. So yeah, if you can watch that, that'd be great. And of course, I have a lot of shorts on here. So many of them are LGBTQ, many of them are about motivation, inspiration, that sort of thing. And some of them are just funny, some of them are just stupid. You know, a lot of people say, you gotta stick to one thing. You gotta either be the funny guy, or the guy that does the, you know, dances, or the guy that does this or that. But you know what? Sometimes it's just, I post what I like, you know, what I enjoy making. And we'll see. It's worked for me so far in some places. I think the more that these platforms become algorithmic and decide which content people want to see, it makes it a little more challenging, because the algorithms favor people who pump out the same content over and over and over and over again. And I don't want to do that. I want to make different stuff. So, you know, so I'm trying to make some stuff that's the same, some stuff that's different. So hopefully that helps a little bit with that. So we'll see. Yeah, this light though, I think it's a little bit driving me nuts. When you say telling a story, do you mean the director part? That sounds really fun too. Yeah, I guess I mean directing. I guess that's what I mean. I guess that's who tells the story. I mean, the editor tells the story, right? How it's cut together. I think I just like the whole process. I like seeing it go from a nothing to a something. Yeah, director's part of it, for sure. I think I prefer to work on smaller things. You know, for example, I've done background on some really big shows, and it's a good experience, but it doesn't have the same creative fulfillment. So, you know, the shows I've been on are massive shows, but I'm still way more proud of the things I made myself. Even though far less people have seen them, you know. But I mean, those are the things I'm proud of. So, yeah, it's interesting from that angle. Very, very interesting from that angle. Yeah. Ruin my friendship. Be lovers instead. Oh, that song is so stuck in my head now. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. Crazy pants. Do 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 do. Do 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 boop a doop a doop boop. wonder if anyone else is going to join us. I'm almost at 70 minutes, so it's, you know, not a short amount of time. Not a short amount of time at all, sir. Sometimes I do weird things like that, like do an accent that doesn't sound very good. And definitely, I'm weird when I sing and don't sound very good. I would love to learn how to sing someday, but I feel that I'm so bad that it would take a lot of work. And I don't know if I'm dedicated enough to follow through, you know? I did a couple singing lessons when I was in high school, but I couldn't afford it anymore. So I did a couple, but I couldn't afford it anymore. I had a part-time job and it was challenging because the singing lessons were expensive. But yeah, so someday I will learn how to sing. Do you ever do acting in your films or anything? Yes, yeah. Like, it's complicated. I'm one of the main actors. Committed, I'm one of the main actors. So that happened. I'm an actor, but not one of the main actors, because that one I wanted to focus a little more heavily on directing. Yeah, but I have a, that one is really fun, because that one I play twins. So I play two different characters that are brothers, and they look the same. So that was really fun. Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, the only one of my series that's on YouTube is complicated, because the other ones, I'm not sure if YouTube allows them. They're a little bit more mature. They're not corn by any means, but they're more mature. I'm hoping you know what I mean when I say corn, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, the actual word. So, but yeah, it's not that, but it's, you know, a little more mature, so I don't know if it's allowed here or not. Like, Stripped, for example, is about a stripper, and it shows a little bit of butt, which probably is fine, but I don't know. You've heard corn, yeah. Everyone's heard corn now. Can we put anything else? Torn. Right? I'm a torn star. Doesn't sound the same. I've heard people use prawn, like they just put the O and the R back to, like, flippity. Corn star. Yep. Love it. Yeah. Corn hub. Yeah. And then people also say only friends. Bam-ba-doom-ba-doom. That's a fun one. What else do they say? What are those other little phrases? I'm trying to remember. It's like you need a dictionary to understand the things people are saying, because the platforms have too much censorship, so you can't say it, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. So, what can you do? Yeah, only friends, lol, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Day. All right. I think it is time for me to sign off for today. I've been here 71 minutes and 30 seconds, which is, it feels like a long time. I don't know if it's a long time. I don't know if people just stream on here for hours and endlessly. I don't know. But for me, 71.5 minutes is a long time. So I'm going to say adios for now, and I will see you next time. Please, everyone, if you're willing and able, check out my series It's Complicated here on YouTube. 10 episodes, watch them all the way through. Really helps me out a lot. It's a great story. It's impactful. It's powerful. It's LGBTQ. And also, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, Simon Bella Mundo. It was nice meeting you as well. And hopefully, I will see you all again next time.